The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the December 11th magical Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And of course, the easiest way to do that, it's to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we get to go check out the circumstances of these markets. We get to go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, and more importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone, dial on in 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, well, let your fingers do the walking. You can always send me an email, steve@tfnn.com, and inside the Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on a magnificent Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, the Dow trade up 41 points, 24,370 is the print. S&P's up 7, about 0.75%. NASDAQ 100 is the leader to the upside percentage-wise, nearly a little over 0.75%, 49 points, 63.93. Russell 2000 up 2 points. Semis are up 4 points. To the downside, you've got the transportation indice. That's down 11 bucks. We'll go see if that has any meaning. If you remind me, gold is back a buck. Silver down 2 pennies. Light sweet crude up 41 cents. Leading the charge here to the dollar-wise to the upside is Bluebird Bio, 41 bucks to the upside, 24%. NetEase up $19 or 6%. Argenix SE up 18 bucks. Blueprint Medicine's up 16. Tesla's up 11. Overstock.com up 11 points. The downside it is Spark Therapeutics. ONCE once is the ticker symbol, not having a good day, down 36% or 26 bucks. AutoZone down 15 or 2%. Ulta Beauty Salon down 3% at $6.84. Juno Therapeutics to the downside as well, off 6 buckaroonies. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. Well, we've had 2 people write in so far. They've let their fingers do the walking. Let's first go take a look at this. This was a equity that Phil had. No, that's not the tab. This is an equity here that Phil had called in about, one of our listeners, back on November the 30th. And at that stage, and this is a ticker symbol, ARGX, Argenix is the symbol. And as soon as we popped this up, taking a look at the three-way, what we could see here was that this was an IPO from June in 2017. So there was not going to be enough data to really provide a lot of information. The only information we really had at that time, November 30th, would have been the weekly profiles that were out there. There was a set of daily profiles, but just not enough information. The only piece of information you and I had at the point in time when we looked at it, when Phil called in, we were looking at November 30th. And at that stage, I believe price was up towards its high, very close to it, around 35.71. And so the only piece of information that we could bestow in taking a look at this chart was that markets don't end on wide-ranging bars. And it is a wide-ranging bar, even on that day. And Phil just wanted to point this out to folks out there, that's at least in this situation, that certainly is an occurrence that came true. Now today it's trading at 48.77 versus the 32 level. Again, still, to take a look at the monthly chart, that certainly is a wide-ranging bar. No additional advice. Phil just wanted to pass that on to you. And I think what we might have said, you and I, we said, hey, markets don't end on wide-ranging bars. There's no reason to go ahead and get rid of this equity, and Phil did not get rid of it. But he did sell into today's strength, some of it, so he's got free shares out there. The other question that was was asked about was if I would give my view on Bitcoin. This came from Les, and Les was looking for almost more of a theoretical discussion or practical discussion of whether it's real, whether it's not real. Here's the only thing that I can really do for you. Now that it's trading in the futures market, we can just be agnostic to what it is that we're looking at on the screen and just try to look for pieces of information out here. What I will say, for those of you that are interested in blockchain, you're interested in digital currency, you're just interested in understanding the landscape, one of the best just kind of overall viewpoints to then take you forward to additional resources, a book called The Seventh Sense. Here it is right here. Maybe you can see it on my screen. I don't know the author. I'm just telling you, if somebody said to me, what's one of the better books you've read this year, period, I would say it's The Seventh Sense. Now, you're going to have to read it several times out there. It's kind of one of those books. Joshua Cooper Ramo is out there. And I think this is very applicable to what it is we're taking a look at inside this blockchain, digital currency, stuff that is going on inside the markets. But Les, what I can say to you is now that we have this on an exchange, over the course of the coming weeks, we'll start to see patterns that you and I can take a look at out here. One uniform exchange. At this stage here, the only place where you and I have profiles on this are in the short term. We have a 10-minute, a 30-minute, a 60-minute, 120-minute time frame that is out here. So we can see with regard to the open, we were down to a low of 15,000. The high that we've seen so far came in at about around 1150. That was up at the 18,850 area. We had the first profile that formed on a 10-minute chart began at 2240 last night. Now, if we take a look at this 30-minute time frame out here, what we can see, the only thing I can see out here is a consolidation, right? Here's whoops, you got to grab the right tool and then apply it. So here, in essence, is your consolidation that's going on inside of Bitcoin. Now, the interesting thing about the consolidation, this is a give or take consolidation level, about 17.5 up to about 18.7. So you're looking at 17.5, 18.5, 1,000, 1,250, somewhere right around there. Typically, when a consolidation pattern gets busted, either to the upside or the downside, it gives you a measured move. So that measured move at this stage of the game, again, this is just a 10-minute time frame, but it's a cool pattern. It's one that each of us should know. Each of us should always know when something is really a consolidation, because they're really the more difficult patterns to play out here. You can short it from the top, you can buy it from the bottom, and you have a pretty decent exit strategy if it's going to break out to either side. So to the upside out here, 20,000 basically would be the upside target on a breakout of this little consolidation that we're in. And the downside target out here for Facebook gets you to about 16,000. So that is the pattern that it's in right now. Prices below a 30-minute profile out here would suggest to me price is going to come down towards the bottom of that consolidation area in the 17,400 level. But real, not, doesn't matter to me at this stage of the game. You and I will continue to look at this from a trading standpoint, and we'll start watching the patterns over this week, over next week, when the CME has its own ticker symbol, and I'd say in January we'll have a pretty good idea of the patterns within inside of Bitcoin. Steve Rhodes, TFNN, right back. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Steve takes your phone calls. Now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Folks, Dow is up about 32. S&P is up 6. And the next question that has come in is from our Tigers Den. And the question is, are we breaking out of the recent range and heading to new highs into the end of December, or still 64 to 6,200 range until something changes inside the NQ? The NQ has been the weakest link since November. So let's go take a look at the NQ and see what it is that we can see. And with inside the NQ, one of the first places that I'm going to start for you, Maria, is back here and take a look at the weekly time frame. Even though it is just Monday, there is a level that you'll be watching for to help answer that question. In my opinion, you'll be looking for that level, and that's going to be 63.8765. That is the top of the weekly profile. The reason why I believe that that is so important to answering your question is because what we will see here momentarily is this is a brand new box, brand new profile formed early this morning, late last night. Now, inside this box here, Maria, you're going to notice that that center line is closer to the top than it is to the bottom. So the structure of this box is bearish. It says that snipers should be hanging out in the 63.87 level. Should be, could be, would be. Those are all different scenarios out here. So should be hanging out right around this area. And if you don't see those snipers, if they're overtaken, if they get rolled over, then the answer is that, yes, this is a breakout on a weekly basis, because you've got a bearish structured profile. Prices said, nah, I don't really care. I'm headed higher out here. So at this stage of the game inside the NQ, watch the top of that throughout the week. If we take a look at the other weekly profiles out here, the only other one that we're looking at is, quite frankly, the Russell 2000, which I would say is actually the weakest of them all at this stage. And it is now trading above the top of its weekly profile. In fact, it has always been above the top of its weekly profile, and I say always for the last 4 weeks out here. That's a very right-hand panel out here. So even though it's been weak, it's really come down to levels of support. Now, you don't see so much that level of support in the weekly, but you do in the daily. If you take a look at the daily, you can see price got down back a couple of days ago, right down to the bottom of the box. Now, on a daily standpoint, inside the Russell 2000, although you didn't ask about it, but you mentioned the word weakest, and we're going to take a look at what really is arguably the weakest out here. Well, what we're going to see is that the Russell 2000 1531 and change is really the level that it needs to close above in order to break out. Inside the Dow, it's 24,425. We're now at 24,385. And inside the ES on a daily basis, it right now is trading above resistance, 2657, and we'll call it 3 ticks out there. And as long as it stays above that, well, then, yeah, the bullish breakout is the only way that you can call this puppy out here. Doesn't mean you won't see some moving back and forth, but at this stage here, the game goes to the breakout artists. Now, what else needs to take place inside the March contract for the NQ out here? I would say you're watching for today's close. As we can see, prices traveling right inside Stevie's red line. And the only way for me to get this actual red line number is to put up a data box. So that's not it. That's not it. Where is it? There's the data box. And let me get, so the number here is 6401 and a quarter. You're 6406. So this, if there's going to be resistance, it's going to be here at Stevie's red line. Doesn't have to be right this very second. You want to watch the end of the day out here. It's been acting as resistance. But if price, inside the NQ closes above that level, 6401 and a quarter, making this move all the way back to its highs is very likely. Whether it finds resistance there or not, I don't know. But at this stage here, everything you and I are looking at bodes well for, the NQ is breaking out and is assuming its role in life, numero uno. Now, one last little tidbit of information, if it's a tidbit. And we're going to take a look at the 30-minute time frame chart out here. Now, it looks like over the course of the next hour, we might get a TD9 count. It all depends upon the price action between now 122 and 130. But it looks like, okay, we're going to get a TD number 8, setup number 8 count. And then it's going to all be about the candle session going into the 2 p.m. We might get that 9 count session out here. Now, depending on that bar that forms and whether or not it ticks inside the bar number 6 out here or not will be helpful in trying to identify the momentum or lack thereof. We'll also pay attention to that 9 count. The last time we had a 9 count that was of any significance out here, that'll take us back, the one of significance takes us back to the last bottoming signal out here. Now, the real bottoming pattern came in right here at 7 in the morning. That was on December the 5th. Price moved higher, pulled all the way back into it, and while I was pulling back into it, right at about 1:30 in the morning on December the 6th, there was your TD9 count out here. Gave us a change in trend. Again, 30-minute chart. You're watching Stevie's red line on the 30-minute time frame chart, so it's just worth noting. We're up at resistance, around the resistance level. You've got these other patterns. And these will help to answer your question on a 30-minute basis. If prices pulls back a bit, no big deal. We'll watch the red line number there as well, and that's 63.91, depending on what price does over the next 45, actually less than that, about 55 minutes out there. So those are my thoughts on the NQ. If we were to look at all time frames with regard to market breadth for the NASDAQ 100, and by market breadth, I'm referring to number of stocks trading above and below their boxes out here. The daily chart shows 42 above, only 10 below, so that's bullish. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, 52 above, 12 below, well, that's very bullish out here longer term. The 4-hour chart, I take that back, 4-hour chart, bullish, 45 above, 22 below, and on the 1-hour chart out here, you've got 53 above, 28 below. Basically bullish on all time frames out there, and so any pullbacks, as long as this market breadth remains bullish, especially on the shorter term time frame, you'd watch for levels of support. Those could be profile levels, they could be Stevie's red lines, a number of different elements out there to keep one or both of your eyes on, and you are very welcome. Now, what else is it that we want to talk about out here? I think that what we want to talk about is gold. Yeah, let's talk about the other currency, so to speak, And if we take a look at Goldilocks out here, what is it doing? Well, let's just take a look at the February contract. And, last Friday, was wave number 7, letter G, as we take a look at it on my screen. That letter, that low of Friday is what I should say. If it gets taken out, no big deal. Just extends that 7th wave move and says, more likely than not at this stage, you'd be looking at a price move down to about the 12 area. What happens if Friday's low doesn't get taken out? At this stage of the game, nothing. May not even be wave number 7 out here. No bullish reversal signal. No price anywhere near Stevie's red line. 1266 to be exact on that number. You're at 1247. So the call of the moment inside of gold, very simple. We have a falling price oscillator below 0. And as long as that's in place, well, then so is 12.90. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live, and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Kind of a slow day here. Not many in the requests at this stage of the game. So remember, you can always send me an email, Steve at TFNN.com, and I'll be happy to go take a look at whatever it is you want to look at. Commodity, currency, futures contract, stock, ETF, doesn't matter. Last week we had Robert that called in from Chicago. He is a big Procter and Gamble follower. And trader, and has got an investment in it. And when he called in, I believe it was on the trading day of it was either December 4th or December 6th out here. I'm going to go with the 6th, and or it could have been the 5th. But what we were taking a look at that stage of the game, his question was whether or not it was going to move higher, and somewhere above the 94, 95 level out there. And my suggestion at that stage, because he was looking for an entry price, what we noticed inside of Procter & Gamble on the daily chart was that it too was forming a time to mark 9 count out there. So you'll see the black number 9 on my system. So it was either that day or it was the day prior, and it looked like it was going to go ahead and form that. And my suggestion was, hey, if you're going to add to your position, wait until we see price catch up to the red line, Stevie's red line, the price oscillator on change line out here, which it did on Friday. It has also tested that level today. The number in the print there today is 89.89. The reason why we were paying attention, whether I got the days right or not, was mostly because, and it could have been this that we were talking about, I'm sure that it was because the bottom panel, the price oscillator itself, was nearing zero or was at zero. And that was an indication that we're going to see these two being price and the red line, catch up to each other. That is the traditional and normal pattern. At this stage here, we've seen a rejection now of that level. And by seeing a rejection of that level, that is bullish out here. And as long as price stays above 89.89, that remains bullish. So this would be a area, Robert, where if you wanted to add a few more shares, then you certainly could. Those few shares that you add, don't let it close below Stevie's red line, or I'll give you some other levels not to let it close below. You maintain your core position. You're just trading around it, looking for a good area to go ahead and add to it. We think that it's a good long-term area, and your risk reward is much better here than it was a few days ago. Okay, I almost deleted that. Is the monthly chart that we're taking a look at. Because what we have out here, what we saw is that this month, the month of December, price tested 89.18. That was the bottom, or is the bottom, of its monthly market profile. And that is a bullish structured profile. Really does suggest, as long as price holds that level, 89.18, so that would be a good indication as to where your stop needs to be for this next portion that you could add, would be any close below that level. Price should head up to the top of that box, 92.84. And that is on Procter and Gamble. We've got a request, it looks like, inside the den for ticker symbol TRN, Trinity Industries, and they provide various chemical, agricultural, transportation, and construction sector in the United States and internationally. So they provide products and services for those sectors out here. Nonetheless, let's go take a look at Trinity and see what it is doing. Let me get my other daily chart going out here as well. I don't care what time frame we look at. Looks like this thing is, okay, so on the monthly chart, this thing looks pretty bullish. Let's see, here's a swing point from February of this year, 25 million shares, and that was taken out with 22.43. So this is a confirmed rather large A to B equals C to the upside. This is longer term for this specific equity. Again, the ticker symbol here is TRN. But the signal is that this wants to head to 40.20, 44.33, and I would say 40.20, probably not so much. 44.33 more likely, or get back to the 49.59 level out here. It's got some choppy waters ahead, and we say that just simply because of the volume off of the top back in 2014, 156 million shares out there. So a big downdraft, and some of those holders that have been holding this since 2014, maybe bought at those highs, might be saying, I'm just happy to get my cashola back out here. But otherwise, if we look at the daily time frame, and inside the daily time frame, this thing had broken out back on October the 2nd, 8.7 million shares. Price came back to that breakout area with 5.6 million shares. Still was pretty, it was lighter volume, No doubt about that. And that was enough for that group of traders out there to continue to push this thing back to those highs. Now, that is a high volume, we'll call it a version. Yeah, that's all you can call it, is a version of a high volume high, 8.7 million shares that has been tested with lighter volume, 2.8, 1.4, 2.0. So it really needs to close above the level of 35.97 in order for this to continue to move to the upside. That's taking a look at the daily chart out here. That is Trinity Industries. Because it's up at those highs and it's tested on lighter volume, does that mean you go ahead and sell, Mortimer, sell? Nah, I don't think so. We've already seen what this thing has done when it pulled back to its sign of strength out here. And that was that sign of strength from the week that began October 2nd, 2017. Whoops, that was Trinity Resources. Let me go see here. What else can we go take a look at? So thank you, Polar, for even just bringing that up out there. Let me see if we've got any other requests. I don't see anything. So let's just kind of surf around and say, hey, Steve-O, what do we want to look at out here? What do we want to look at? Let's go look at, see if this has been fixed. No, this has not been fixed. Here's when a bad tick can really throw you a curveball out here. Here's the New York Stock Exchange in the left-hand panel of my screen. Bad tick data. 19,696 was where that was supposedly trading. It's really trading 12,659, but it's screwing up all of my data out here in order to provide you with anything that's useful. Here's what we do know. You know, Maria, it's kind of interesting that you and I, we were taking a look at the NQ, we were taking a look at the NASDAQ out here, but if we take a look at the NASDAQ composite itself, it actually is got a bearish pattern right now. The bearish pattern is just simply that the advanced decline oscillator reading still remains below the zero level, even though we are near its highs out there. And it's just a slight indication that there is a problem under the covers out here. But as I take a look at these four charts, can't really look at the New York Stock Exchange. There's not really much of a story to tell other than the NASDAQ composite. Does that mean you shorted or something like that? No, but it just validates those numbers that you are going to pay attention to, those profile levels, and Stevie's red line. We do have a question that came in from Sylvia. She asked, would you give me your opinion on the air, please, for this equity? I will. The equity, Roku. Okay, there we go. Roku is the ticker symbol. I don't know if you use that out there. I don't. That's not a, that doesn't mean anything, but ROKU. But we know that this thing was on fire, ROKU out here. And let's wait for this to pull up. So here again, another IPO. So this is going to be somewhat problematic to give you a lot of great information, but I'll do my best to search for any kind of patterns, anything that I can find in Roku. That's for Sylvia. And we'll do that when we get back from this break.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back. Dow's up 32. S&P is up 5 points. So we're taking a look at Roku with Sylvia. And as we take a look at this chart, we know that it's been trading out here, the IPO, back in September of 2017. So not a lot of data in order to do technical analysis. The technical analysis that we can do is shows us that price was moving higher with less relative energy into November 29th. You see that diagonal line out here that my system automatically picks up on, and there was a bearish reversal signal there. So price pulled back, which is really the message back there. So where did it fall back to? You know, can we identify that as some type of significant level of support out here? Well, that fallback was on this trading day right here, which was December the 6th. Now, there were about 11 million shares on that day that were going into 53 million shares as it was moving up on November 13th. Let me go ahead and explode the chart up. Probably shouldn't use the word explode, but enlarge. And so November 13th, this thing moves higher, 53 million shares. You get a nice little price RSI top out here, pulls back somewhere into that trading session, and it does it with lighter volume. Now, it made a high when it first made a high out here. It was November 14th. And that was volume to the upside as well as maybe to the downside of 56 million shares out there. And that was tested. And it was tested on that day when it actually made its high, November 28th. Lighter volume there, 38 million shares closed underneath that high. So that was a rejection on price. So not price and volume. So now you had two signals for, okay, this is going to pull back. Now, the pullback level, Maria, that you and I would have been looking for, in my opinion, was 36.70. It actually got down to 37.81. It's moving higher today. It's back inside the previous swing point, its all-time swing point. At this stage, take a look at a daily chart. Again, that was 38 million shares. You've done 6.9 million shares. Doesn't look like this is going to go ahead and bust out just yet. It may, but it doesn't look like it. It may go test the highs, 51.80. And if it closes inside of 44.66 today, or 47.31, it can actually and should go ahead and do that. But it will take a larger volume day than November 28th 38 million shares in order to really break out to its next leg. This could be just in a consolidation type pattern out here. And that consolidation would look something like this. I would say, give or take. This is probably the consolidation out here, which runs between about $35 up to $49 out there. So I don't know if you're in it, looking to get in it. If you're looking to get in it, I would say, shoot for a pullback into that 35 area, or trade this on a breakout if, in fact, it takes out the high from November 28th with more than 38 million shares. And that is on Roku, ROKU. That is the ticker symbol. No other requests that are in, but during the opening of the show, I said the transports were down. They're down a little bit more now, 27 points out here. So let's go take a look at the trannies, and let's do that by switching over to one of my other charts out here. Let's go take a look at the transport indices, Dow Jones Transports, which we have been calling for up to this point in time for a price to move up into the 10,781 level. Well, not so fast. Price is starting to move higher, doing less relative energy. I don't have a bearish reversal signal yet. But if we were to get one, and we won't get one today necessarily, all that is going on right now is maybe this is going to pull back and test Stevie's red line, 10,188, where it would find support. I don't know which pattern it is that's going to play out just yet. If it pulls back, nothing, no big deal, 10,188, that's just setting up its move into the 10,781 level. But if we see a move, we're going back and forth, higher, lower, we get a bearish reversal signal with this pattern in play here. Well, its price will still come back to test that red line, but it may be something a little worse. A little worse would be somewhere around the 99-ish hundred area, 9,900 inside of the transports out here. So they're beginning to show some chinks inside of the armor. Anything else showing chinks out there? The Dow, which is a beautiful thing out here, it is beginning to move higher with less relative energy. Let me hit the update key and make sure. Yeah, so we can see it moving higher, doing less relative energy. No bearish reversal signal yet. If we do get one, well, then, and we were to see a price close below my red line level, currently 24,279. Well, that would then indicate some type of retracement for this week out here. And what we would really do with regard to the Dow is we'd go back and take a look at what's going on inside of the profiles for the Dow equity futures contracts. That would provide you and I think, with better target areas for any kind of a pullback should, in fact, one take place out there. I mentioned, where are there troubles and issues? We talked a little bit about the Russell 2000 and some of the weakness when we're looking at the equity futures contract for it. If we look at the cash contract, what we can see out here is that yesterday, or I should say Friday, today has been nothing more than a test of Stevie's red line. So cash indice showing us some trouble in River City. What does that mean? Again, I would flip back and take a look at the equity futures contract. I go to the daily and say we just may be in this range. And the range out here is in between the top of its box, 1531. We talked about this with Ron in Denver the other day, that this was going to be a resistance area that he needed to watch because he's long. He had some type of call spread, I believe, inside the Russell 2000. And price could easily, don't know that it will, but so far we're seeing resistance here. We're seeing resistance on the cash indice, and no reason for this to not pull back into the 1508 area. Not really a big deal. But that's at the moment, that's the message coming from the small caps out there. How about the XAU? And just simply, we talked about gold, but if we take a look at the XAU out here, this too has it's a different count, at least coming from a different beginning. But nonetheless, this also has wave number 7, letter G, on my screen out here. But price has not closed above Stevie's red line. That number out here, 77.48. You are at 77.28. What happens if it closes above Stevie's red line? Well, maybe, just maybe, the XAU is starting to signal that a turn is upon us inside of Goldilocks. And what happens if it doesn't close above Stevie's red line? It's just let's just call it resistance. Can't even speak that well today. And it's not a time to go long signal, not at least with regard to the XAU. Some of the equities inside the XAU that make it up, that could be a different story. But the indice as a whole would say no go out there. Now, I think we have got a problem with my system. That's the monthly chart. No, I can't go there. I was going to try to show the GDX, but can't do it. Want to do it, can't do it out here. The semis, if we take a look at them, what are they doing out here? The only positive at this stage of the game inside the semiconductor indice is its hammer candle. That hammer candle that formed on the trading session of December the 1st out here has held as support. It's been tested. It's been tested once, twice, three times over the last 6 days out here. Something to think about. Hey, if it closed above 1274, the Bulls would be back in town. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Be right back.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender. Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
This is David White. Stay tuned because coming up next is the Power Trading Hour right here on TFNN.
Welcome back. Dow's up 42. S&P is up 6 points out there. You know, during one of the segments, we looked at Procter & Gamble for Robert in Chicago. Well, not because he requested, because we talked about it last week. And of course, Robert's question was, well, if Procter & Gamble is going to pull back, isn't the XLP going to pull back? And the answer is yes. And the answer was yes. And if we take a look at the action inside the XLP, just like P&G testing Stevie's red line, so too is the XLP to the tick as we speak today. 56.28 is the number that it's printing at right now. As long as that level holds, and life is good inside the consumer staples area. And but if it breaks below that, then you're looking at about 55.21 would be the price area. But this really should head back to its highs out here. XRT is a question out here. If we take a look at the XRT, I think the only thing I can do in this short time, this minute out here, let's go take a look at it. XRT is to, come on, populate. There we go. The retail ETF. Let's put out the daily chart out here, see if there's anything that opens up. And so here you had 2 million shares, here you had 10. So there was an A to B equals CD pattern that had formed out here. Here's the daily pattern for it. We're going to see that it's well above the 1-to-1 level. Let's go see what level it's trading at out there. Above 1.272 and probably headed to 45.61 next out here. And taking a look at the daily chart, may just do a double gui. That would be a double. And why that went ahead and turned itself off on my screen, I don't know. But you know what? We have the will and we have the power. Well, to try to put that ABC pattern back out there. Let's see if I can do it here in the next few seconds. Let's see. Can Stevie do it? I think he can. So it looks to me like this could be headed to probably the 47.24 level. Real explosive move off of this C point. Says it wants higher price. Folks, stay tuned because your favorite polar bear, my favorite polar bear, everybody's favorite polar bear, David White is up next. After David, you got the Tom O'Brien Show from 3 to 5. Hey, stay tuned. I've got some pretty cool stuff to share with you during that segment at about 3:15. Take care. Have a great day.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.